I don't think there's any question. Number 2 Kansas in town to take on the Longhorns, and they are on top now 5-0 as Collison gets the easy turnaround and gets on top. John, let's talk about pace. You know, a lot of teams try to slow this KU club down. Can you do that? Do you run with them? What is the formula?
Well, Texas on this floor at home can run with Kansas team. They've got to spread the floor. They want to make Kansas chase defensively, use TJ Ford's ability to penetrate. The shooters have to make shots for this Longhorn ball club.
Aaron Miles commits the foul for Kansas. Here are the starters: Miles, Boshi, Heinrich, Gooden, and Collison. TJ Ford, Ivy, Mouton, Erskine, and Thomas, the starters for the Texas Longhorns.
We're on 2 possessions so far, 2 baskets by this Jayhawk team. They are averaging 103 a game the last 4 times out. The jump shot by Boshi, the 3, and then the basket inside by Collison.
Mouton calls a timeout so that he does not get the 5-second violation. And let's take a look at the standings in the Big 12. Kansas trying to run the table. They are perfect at 10-0. Then Oklahoma in 2nd place at 8-2. Then comes Texas in 3rd place at 7-3. Saturday's ball game here in Austin. Big win by the Longhorns, and TJ Ford really put on a show. 22 points and 12 assists in the ball game, and he got the 12 assists really before he started scoring the bulk of his points, John.
Well, down the stretch, they made Ford shoot the ball. He made shots, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, but he was brilliant, Ron, with the basketball and finding teammates. Does not worry about himself when he's running the half-court show. He'll push it, he'll dish it, and his teammates have to finish. Tonight's going to be important that they catch all these passes and they put them in, because Kansas does not give him any easy looks when they're on the defensive end.
Well, back to live action. Heinrich actually stole the pass, but he fell out of bounds, so the ball will go back to the Longhorns. 5-0 as we're about to have played the first 2 minutes of this one.
And quickly, Erskine at 6'6" goes out, and they put in Boddicker at 6'10". Better matchup against Gooden or Collison.
Boshi working against Ivy. Ford gets it to Ivy, and he will reverse it and score.
Well, that's what TJ Ford does best. He penetrates, he finds teammates. Miles is going to have to keep Ford in front of him.
Heinrich looking inside, nothing there. Now goes back to Boshi. The bouncer, Gooden, with his first shot, puts up an air ball, and a foul is going to be Collison over the back.
Well, Ron, we've already talked about TJ Ford and his ability to distribute. 3 Kansas jerseys around him. Terrific finish by Royale Ivy.
You can see Miles picking up TJ Ford very early. They want to make sure that they get a grasp on him and not let him come down and set up to dish out those assists.
And Texas wants to keep the floor spread once again, so shooters have room to shoot it. Once they catch it, big hoop by Mouton.
Mouton with a 3-pointer. And Texas comes back quickly and ties it until Collison has the ball blocked by Thomas, and Ivy comes away with it.
Good hustle by Thomas. Great matchup. 3 guards with both teams, and both big men on either side can run the floor. Well, Mouton has been the hot shooter for this Texas ball club. He gets it going. They are more effective on the offensive end.
Miles passes up the 3-pointer. Boshi will not, and he switches it. And that's good news. We haven't had time to talk about it, but you can notice tape on his left hand as Ford gets it back. Heinrich takes the ball away, and here comes Miles. Off to Gooden, and he is fouled by Ivy.
How quickly this Kansas team can take it the other way, and you start talking about Jeff Boshi on his left thumb. Jammed it and got it bent forward in the Texas Tech game. Talked to him before the game. He said, you know, it's fine shooting because it's on the left side, obviously. He's right-handed, but he said sometimes it hurts to catch or to dribble. We'll keep an eye on it.
At the shoot-around today, he was swishing 3-pointers from just about everywhere, but he did grimace when he had to pass the ball and also when he caught it, trying to cushion the ball with his right hand first and then grab it in with his left hand.
You take a look at his season average. He has been playing well as of late. Last 4 ball games, over 16 a game, 52% from beyond the 3-point line. Drew Gooden, the leader in the Big 12 Conference, scoring and rebounding.
74% from the free throw line, knocks that one down, and it's a 10-5 lead. Jayhawks went out on top 5-0. Texas came back and tied it, and now 5 unanswered by KU. Boddicker back to Ford. Hits the high screen, then inside, and Erskine on the turnaround jump hook knocks it down.
Reginald Erskine, only 6'6", but quick elevation. Good, strong post play.
One of the things you find out rapidly against KU, when you hit a basket, you better turn around and run like the Dickens, because KU's going to be right back on you very quickly.
You find out about speed, and then after about 15 minutes, you find out about conditioning.
This is what I mean. Heinrich on the reverse, and he scores. If you don't play transition against these guys, they absolutely run you in the floor.
Well, let's just go last 4 ball games. 105 against Missouri, 100 against Colorado, 98 Kansas State, and then on Saturday, 108 points against Texas Tech.
Mouton left alone by Heinrich, and he cans it. Roy Williams not happy about that because didn't get out quickly enough, and Mouton will take that shot all night. Collison has to go over the top of Boddicker, who fell down, and he scores the easy hoop.
Pretty good concentration.
I'll tell you what it was.
Guy laying on your feet.
Like a linebacker jumping over blockers. Well, this has been a rapid first 5 minutes. Non-stop.
Texas put in 104 points in their win against Colorado Saturday. They like to get up and down the floor and use the ability of T.J. Ford to pass it.
Ford to Boddicker, and he scores it. And Ford already with 3 assists in the first 5 minutes of this ball game.
And the crowd on their feet because Boddicker has struggled and has been inconsistent from the outside. We'll see if that gets him going.
That's a great point. Miles didn't call it, but he banks in the three-pointer, and now big grin on his face. And his teammates kind of smiling at him as well. Like, as long as it goes through aesthetically, it doesn't matter. Isn't that right, John?
It's good, and your confidence is up when it goes through the net.
Boddicker, 2 in a row.
We watched Boddicker warming up prior to this game. Made shot after shot. Confidence looks good.
Good news for Rick Barnes. Texas started off 0 of 3. They have hit all of their last 6 attempts. Gooden back to Boshi for 3. Too hard. Mouton scrambles for it, and he will retrieve it. Ford there quickly to push it on up the floor for Texas. TJ pulls up from 18. Can't get it. Collison with a rebound, and quickly out on the break is Heinrich. You better get on him, and he scores it.
And they don't stop.
Heinrich also, we had watched him for 2 years prior to this one. I think he's in the best shape he has ever been in, John, because he never stops running. He never gets tired.
He's been just absolutely brilliant in the last 4 ball games. 28 against Texas Tech on Saturday. Outrunning people, going over the top of people. Jump shot has been right on. 47% from three-point land.
Erskine comes out with the screen for Ford, and that ball knocked away by Miles. So it'll go back to the Longhorns with 12 seconds on the shot clock, but we're going to take a break first. 13:48 left in this opening half. It is Kansas 19 and homestanding Texas 15.
Unscripted with Chris Connolly, 5 p.m. weekdays on ESPN.
Hey, Bill, I need to talk to you.
What is it, you and Karen break up?
No, that's not it.
Then what?
You remember how we decided that we'd have more money to buy Bud Light if we got a 3rd roommate?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can take her anymore.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Charge.
Make it a Bud Light.
Welcome back to Austin. Big Monday presented by Bud Light. Ron Frankel along with John Sunvol. Well, we've already been answered our opening question, and that is the pace of the ball game. Both coaches have said, let's go get them.
Well, let's push it up. Let's see who can guard whom. And the key for Texas, don't turn it over, but they have to get back defensively. Heinrich's already had 2 layups.
Transition and transition defense. We're going to play the Jayhawks. Extremely important. Rick Barnes. Tell you, he's got quite a record on Big Monday. He has never lost here at home. But he's got a task.
That's why they treated us so well. We walked in, huh? 5-0 on Big Monday.
Rick has done a heck of a job at this school, particularly losing an All-American in Chris Owens the first third of the season, and still in a situation where they could make the NCAA tournament. 16 wins now. Ballard, Simeon in the ball game as well. He's out high and takes the pass. But Langford drives, has the ball blocked by Thomas, and it comes right back to Simeon, who feeds to Gooden for the slam.
Nice block, nice assist by Simeon. Kansas team very unselfish, Ron. Over 21 assists a ball game as a team.
Freddie Williams didn't know if we were going to see him tonight. Injured his tailbone against Texas A&M when he got flipped, and then hurt it again last Saturday and did not come back in the ball game after that.
And tough for him because he is out there for defensive purposes. And when you've got a bad tailbone, it's difficult. Now he's on the floor. Good save.
Shot in the way, not there. The follow by Erskine won't go. And in traffic, Thomas scores it. I mean, we got bodies all over the place. Simeon running. Foul
on Thomas, and Freddie Williams almost, and I say almost, made a smart play at half court. He tries to get a charge at half court, left part of your screen. Watch the finish and watch them kick it out. Keep an eye over here. Freddie Williams is going to try to get a charge. Gets there, but Heinrich never got a chance to turn and come down. And Simeon simply on a dead sprint once the ball went in.
And folks, what you got to understand, this freshman who is at the line, Simeon, 6'8", 245 pounds, and he let him out on the break. Everybody runs on this team.
That's why it's a fun matchup tonight. You think of the three-guard set for Texas normally. Ivy, Mouton, Ford, they all are very mobile, can shoot the ball. Same with the three guards for Kansas. Then you take inside play. James Thomas loves to get up and down the floor.
That pass right there, a little skip pass, too tight. Simeon scores again. It's 26-17.
Ron, James Thomas has to be more disciplined and not having to try to block shots away. He's going to have to block his man out. That time he got caught in no man's land. This guy tips it in.
Also the bounce pass to him just a moment ago. A little bit tight on him as Ivy is fouled, and he'll go to the line for a couple. And I believe that foul is going to be number 5, Keith Langford. First foul on Langford and the third team foul on the Jayhawks.
Good look at Royale Ivy and his shooting percentage. You see 4th in the Big 12, averaging just under 12.5 a game. Sophomore season last year, played a lot of point guard, known as on the defensive end, has continued that defensive pressure this season, but offensively has been terrific, shooting 50% from the field. Last year only 36. Good standstill open shooter. Good defender.
Ivy knocks it down. Sidnell Harris goes to the bench, as does Williams. And a quick pass inside. Klotz covers up the play. Langford has to bring it back out. Gooden will pull up from just inside the three-point line, and he's off the mark. T.J. Ford quickly on the wing. The runner by Moot, I believe by Heinrich. And if there's anything of all the great things that Heinrich does, if there's anything he's guilty of, maybe fouls that shouldn't be sometimes.
He's got to stay away. Obviously, they want him on the floor, but he draws usually the tough assignment defensively. He matches up with guys usually taller and stronger, but he has met the challenge.
Mouton, 76% from the free throw line, misses the first one.
So where he leads his team in scoring. His last 5 ball games, nearly 20 points a game. 51% from the field in those games. He's been very effective running alongside partner T.J. Ford when they come down the break, just finding the open spot.
Huge outing against Oklahoma, too, in that overtime game. 26 points in that one. Hit a jumper for 3 at the buzzer to send it into overtime. Knocks down the second one. We'll take a break. 11:46 left until halftime, and it's the Jayhawks, number 2 in the nation, up by 6.
It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Brown says make your life easy. Brown tells me you have all the choices you want. Brown says to me, get your shipments to your customers when they need it, where they need it. Brown says relax. We'll get it done. Brown says, how about some more pie? Brown would say that.
Shipping on your schedule. What can Brown do for you?
Hello? No, that's not yours. That's yours.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Make it more than a day. Make it a memory with jewelry from JCPenney. Save 20 to 60% on fine jewelry, like this diamond heart pendant surrounded by luscious chocolates. Now just $99.
It's all inside.
JCPenney.
26-20, Kansas on top. And John, a very special guest in the audience tonight, Dr. Denton Cooley, heart specialist. He is still practicing today. And keep in mind, he lettered 3 years here at Texas, 1939 through 1941. And, of course, he performed the first successful heart transplant in the United States. That was in 1968. Denton Cooley, former basketball player here on the 40 acres.
A true superstar in our midst, huh?
Yep, no question.
That's special. And they gave him a front row seat, which is well-deserved. Huh?
You could see Gooden and Heinrich getting a breather over on the bench. Miles works it inside. Langford has it blocked.
I think Erskine got that one. Good block.
Erskine got up and knocked that one away. TJ Ford quickly. Collison reaches in to try to slow him. Every time Texas draws close, the Jayhawks pull back out. Well, that's almost like a handoff. As Ford takes it deep, goes back into the corner. Ivy, and he puts up an air ball.
Well, Kansas so solidly on the defensive end. They get back. They make you play, run half-court sets. They challenge all shots, block out well. Unlike some high-scoring teams in the past that just want to get the ball and go, and as you take a look at Roy Williams, and what a winning percentage that is, over 80%.
Unbelievable.
This is a ball club that starts it on the defensive end, and once they secure the basketball is when they take off.
Sidnell Harris checks back into the lineup, and Ivy gets a breather. Nice crossover. Ford with the finger roll and move forward.
Well, that's what Longhorn fans come to see. Quick with the dribble, you have to give him a step.
The lob inside to Collison. Not much that Boddicker could do, and Boddicker with the foul.
Terrific change of pace, change of direction. Ford, we've seen him enough times to understand the fact he understands on the offensive end to change speed, change direction. Controls the pace of the offensive team extremely well. Oh, what a pass by Miles.
Well, drew it up, and they drew it up perfectly. Collison with 4 early points. 28-22. They maintain that 6-point lead. Ford drives it in, a little short on that jump. Miles just inside the 3-point line, and he banked in another one. He has got 2. They're going to see a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer.
A 2-pointer.
2-pointer.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 on the
bank yet.
Yep. Little glass from the front end. Same spot. Had a big smile again. He said something to teammate Jeff Boschee as he ran by.
Sidnell Harris left alone. Boschee got caught in traffic, and he rolls down a 3.
And you better get to this freshman in a hurry. Sidnell's a good catch-and-shoot player. Good release.
Heinrich against Mouton. Gets a high screen from Collison. In the corner to Miles for 3. Off the back iron won't go, and here comes Harris over to TJ Ford. But Kansas relentless in their transition defense. Mouton going to be off the mark there. And can he save it? Nope, stepped on the inline.
And those are the shots that will be there because Ford pushes in a hurry, trailing guys. Kansas gets back to the paint. The guy that's trailing is going to be open, and that shooter has to convert.
John, the big fellas are grabbing their shorts already, and it's still 9:48 left until halftime.
Well, I've been watching Brian Boddicker, and you're right. He's been tired. Comes out of the ball game. This Kansas team is in great shape, and they will continue to run.
To 25, 9 minutes 40 seconds left in this opening half. Boshi left alone. 4-3, not there. Tip inside, and Thomas comes away with it. That's a tough rebound right there. Ford wants to push it. They close the door inside the Klotz, and his shot was blocked, and the crowd wanted a foul, and now they call travel.
Must keep your spacing. I know you think you can go inside at times, and Ivy gets stuck, and Klotz goes up. Good block. Called Nick Collison for traveling. What I mean by spacing is once TJ Ford penetrates and draws the defense in there as a shooter, just stay out there. Don't try to clog it up.
Klotz missed the shot but got his own rebound. Now in trouble. The ball is knocked away and Ford comes up with it, and Heinrich winds up taking it away, and the outlet pass to Miles, and he'll score.
What a play. Good save by Heinrich, and body balance and body control by Miles.
Ivy back in the ball game as Sidney Harris went to the bench quickly. Mouton, high screen, turns, can't get the 16-footer, and Boshi rebounds. Boshi looks for Heinrich. Well, now he's dribbling with that left hand right there and didn't seem any worse for the wear. Gooden. Quickly they get help with Klotz, and the ball is going to be stolen by Ford. Against Boshi and Heinrich. Cut right in front of Mouton.
Good job defensively by Klotz on Gooden. They've stayed down, and they have not taken any pump fakes by Drew Gooden. Gooden likes to pump fake, get the guy up, go up and under.
Gooden with 4 points in the early going. Texas 3 of their last 13 after they hit that hot streak of 6 in a row. Mouton, and he's going to take it all the way and score.
Yeah, the key for Mouton, he's a solid body, 6'5", about 215. He can take you off the dribble, good jump shooter. Become much more offensive-minded since the Big 12 started when Chris Owens went out.
Heinrich with the bouncer into Collison. Boshi back to Miles.
Looks like they're giving Miles the looks.
Thomas with another rebound. Mouton left alone. 4-3. That thing did everything but go down, and a battle inside, and I think Gooden with the foul. The foul is called on number 0. They both wear 0. They're going to call it on Thomas. So we'll take a break. 7:47 left until halftime. KU by 5.
People want to win. Well, you don't get there with milk and cookies.
Hey, why don't you do everybody a favor and quit?
On Sunday, March 10th.
I've never had a team play scared. What the hell are you scared of?
The first original motion picture from ESPN.
I had to sit around for a year with a losing record? I'm not going to let you people do that to me.
Brian Dennehy is Bobby Knight.
Don't you kids get it? Playing my game is what got you here.
A season on the brink. Sunday, March 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Only on ESPN.
I was born on the yano.
Around here, the biggest month of the year is February. It's Team Dodge Truck Month, where you can get an all-new Ram Quad Cab, Dakota, or Durango and grab Dodge's 7100 powertrain pledge. Plus up to $2,500 cash allowance. Great products, great protection, great values. That's the Dodge Edge during the Team Dodge Truck Month at Truckville, Texas, which just happens to be your Texas Dodge dealer.
Want more from a sport utility? Test drive the all-wheel drive Subaru Outback. More ground clearance than a Ford Explorer Sport. More cargo space than a Jeep Cherokee. More miles per gallon than any leading midsize SUV. Add a smooth car-like ride and you have a sport utility with a whole lot more. Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon.
Win a free ski package weekend. Register at your local Subaru dealer by February 15th.
30 32-27 with 7:47 left until halftime. And a reminder, there's more basketball on the way. Utah against UNLV at midnight here on ESPN. Charlie Spoonhour's Runnin' Rebels host Nick Jacobson and the Utes. Big Monday, presented by Bud Light.
Yeah, the Utes, outstanding team. They took UNLV easily at Utah, but in Vegas, maybe spoonball. They need Darlin Johnson to play well tonight.
Thomas with 2 fouls for Texas still in the ball game, and that could be a critical point in this ball game tonight.
You take a look at the points off the steal, the points off turnovers. This Kansas team averages over 10 steals a ball game. Good defense by Freddie Williams, staying close to Boshi.
Heinrich, nice no-look pass to Gooden. Jump hook is not there, and they battle for the rebound. And Boddicker comes away with it for the Hornets.
And you're right, with Thomas with 2 fouls, he cannot pick up his third.
And Collison just picked up his first foul.
Well, we mentioned the big guys in this ball game that love to run. James Thomas, one of those that will sprint the other way and try to establish low post position, as does Gooden, as does Collison.
Collison with his second, I beg your pardon. And the reason that Thomas is so important, I think Gooden may have picked up that holding from behind. But Thomas in conference play is averaging double-double as far as scoring and also in rebounding.
Well, of conference games, James Thomas is the league leading rebounder. Just under 11 a ball game. Gooden is second.
Simeon comes away with it, and the luxury they have with this lineup right here is Heinrich obviously can operate the point with Miles getting a breather. Boshi dribbling with the left hand and showing that that thumb is not bothering him quite that much. Langford pulls up back to Heinrich now for 3, and it won't go. But Gooden gets the long carom to get a new 35.
Good hands by Boshi to keep it alive.
Simeon, nope. But Freddie Williams comes away with the rebound. The bouncer to Ivy on the wing.
With Ivy on a dead sprint, and no one in a blue uniform picked him up. Good play by Freddie Williams, and Royale Ivy simply took off, went right by Langford. No one else saw him coming in. And Simeon too late. Solid ball game Saturday afternoon against Colorado. Ivy had 18 points, 6 rebounds, a couple assists.
First foul on Simeon, 17 fouls against the Jayhawks. 3-point game, and the crowd up and cheering here at the Irwin Center. Boshi, they threw it away. Keith Langford got a little too aggressive on the bounce pass. Boshi simply could not get over and gather it in.
And as Rick Barnes wanted, if we can score or take care of on the offensive end and get Kansas in more of a half-court game, it's to the Texas Longhorn advantage. They're terrific on the defensive end.
Ford bangs bodies with Heinrich, gets over the corner. Boddicker for 3, got it. His shot looks good. Tie ball game at 32. 7-0 run by the Longhorns. The last time KU scored was at the 9:05 mark, but Simeon will end that with the dunk at the 6-minute mark. So they went 3 minutes 5 seconds without scoring, but they come back and go back on top by a couple. Boddicker left alone, not there, and Thomas battles for it. The ball gets away. It is taken by Boshi. Langford for 3. Boshi tips it back to Gooden. And Thomas will take it away. It gets it over to TJ Ford.
Pretty good pace, huh, partner?
I'll tell you what. Ford high off the glass, not there, and it's wanted out as Gooden grabs the rebound. Boshi. Williams hits him from behind, and a bounce pass into the middle, and they go back to Texas. John, of all the games that we've done, not just this year, but since we've been doing this league, which is a pretty good while, this is as tough a pace as I can remember. Even the guards, Heinrich and TJ Ford, look at them, they're grabbing their knees. Yep. I mean, this is a pace where everybody is saying, okay, let's just keep running and see who's left standing.
Well, once you get the ball, if you're a guard, if you're Heinrich or Ford, what you do is you want to push because you want to find the easy baskets, and everybody keeps running with you. And these little break in the actions are good and well received. TJ Ford takes a break. Now Freddie Williams will handle the point.
Don't be surprised if a player comes by and says, you guys take another commercial, if you will.
TV timeout, please.
Yeah. 5 minutes, 10 seconds left in his opening half. Mouton pulls up from 12, and he got it.
Well, defensively, I think because of the pace, guys are slow getting to the shooters. Now with the shooters, every shooter has to do is gather himself, take a deep breath, unload. Boy, that's long there.
Boshi puts up a 3 and an air ball, and as they battle for it on the floor, jump ball and possession arrow says it'll stay with Kansas.
Yeah, Brandon Mouton has shot the ball well. One bounce, again, uses his height at 6'5" to over the top of Boshi.
Boshi will go to the bench. Ballard will come back into the lineup. So Heinrich and Ballard, along with Simeon and Gooden. And a pass inside, and twice they have scored on inbounds passes, lobbing it to the shooter.
And who would have thought they would just lob it to Heinrich? Royale Ivy not paying attention. Good pass, good recognition by Miles.
Mouton, almost an air ball there. Simeon grabs the rebound. Miles will push it. Simeon lobs it inside to Gooden, working against Klotz, and Klotz blocked it.
Take a look at the inbounds pass. Royale Ivy not paying attention. What that is great recognition by Aaron Miles. Drew Gooden, 1 of 7 so far shooting. He's been frustrated a little bit. Again, Texas is staying on the floor. They're not buying his pump fake.
Miles looking, and this time they double the man in the middle to make sure they don't get another inbounds pass that is successful with the line. Heinrich quickly on the floor, and he comes into Ivy, and Ivy's going to be called for the foul. You know, let me say this about Heinrich. His head coach today at the shoot-around, second foul on Ivy, by the way. Today at the shoot-around, I asked Coach Williams about Heinrich. I said, you know, he has just gotten better and better. We all know he's a coach's son. He said that this kid works as hard as anybody he has ever had in his program. He will stay in the summer for the first 5 weeks, go to school. As soon as he gets out of school, he goes to the weight room and then shoots. And then when he goes back home, he works in his dad's gym. He said you can't get him out of the gym, and it's proof positive to youngsters that when you work really hard, you can make yourself an awfully good player.
Yeah, pretty obvious just watching him. Good move by Williams through the hole. They've gotten Brett Ballard underneath with a foul, although maybe Gooden picked up one. Maybe a Texas run. We keep talking about how the Jayhawks love to push it. That time Drew Gooden got caught not knowing where the ball was, didn't turn. Freddie Williams took advantage of it.
18 fouls against KU. By the way, that miss by Heinrich just a moment ago, he had hit on 21 straight free throws, and the miss just broke the string. Klotz, boy, unlucky on that one as they're battle for it. That's going to be a foul on Gooden, and that'll be the second one on Drew. So Collison with 2 and Gooden with 2. Thomas with 2.
And for the moment, I would put the frustration hat on Gooden. I mean, he just looks like he's frustrated on the offensive end. That time didn't block out as well. Loose ball, kind of slapped, grabbed the jersey.
Erskine, 66% free throw shooter out of Gonzales, Texas.
Another one of the Longhorns that has stepped up his game since the loss of Chris Owens. Owens, who averaged 16 a game, nearly 8 rebounds.
Erskine missed the first 6 games. He was out with a dislocated shoulder. Freddie Williams was out at the same time with an injured knee. So Rick Barnes has really had to deal with a lot of adversity this year as far as injuries. Gooden. Jump hook not there, and Klotz rebound.
Everything is done now so quickly for Gooden. Instead of taking his time, swinging the ball, reestablishing himself.
Ivy. Royale Ivy.
In Longhorn lead, huh?
First lead of the night by Texas. Gooden, by the way, you were talking about frustration. If he gets this one to go, he does. He is 2 of 9 from the field. That one's big right there as far as confidence, though, well, even for the All-Americans.
All-Americans won't stop, that's for sure. They will keep coming.
About to go under 3 minutes to play at halftime, and it's Kansas by 1.
That's good, and that's his third.
So Roy Williams is up, and the look on his face speaks volumes. Gooden's going to have to come to the bench with that third foul.
away from the ball, simply stepped out to try to slow down Brandon Mouton as he came off a pick. A little bump. See if you can see step. Not a lot of touch there, but I think from a different angle you'll see where he just touched and brushed Mouton. Heinrich was right on Mouton's tail, so he really didn't have to do it.
Coach Williams has. Well, all right, Gooden came back out for the first free throw, and then Carey comes in, and Gooden goes to the bench.
We'll see if you can see it here. Watch the step and the bump. Good call. But again, not necessary if your man's trailing. You got to recognize where he is. And he'll rest the last 3 minutes and 12 seconds of this half. Get his mind right for the second half.
And Roy Williams always coaching. And with an example to his star player. And Gooden now shaking his head. Yes, you're right, coach. Mouton breaks the tie. And there's a timeout. 3:12 left until halftime. And they're enjoying things here in Austin, Texas. Horns by 1.
It's still the same old story. A fight for love and glory. A case of do or die. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
They do it so your big mean sister can't have them.
This month at Sonic, we ask why one onion ring in our chicken strip dinner. You already get lots of all white meat strips, plus dipping gravy, fries, Texas toast, even a cold drink for only $3.99. This is one delicious mystery.
Her neck isn't ordinary when she's the one you love. To slip an extraordinary gift onto it, come to Kay Jewelers. Give your Valentine Kay's diamond heart pendant with diamonds hand-selected for exceptional beauty.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
Kay Jewelers.
Sports Center every 20 minutes.
From the East Coast
Boston, 6 Carolina
to the West.
Los Angeles with 2 goals.
Drivers everywhere have a new way to listen to the worldwide leader in sports. ESPN Radio on XM Satellite Radio.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is ESPN Radio.
With ESPN Radio, plus 99 other channels of news, sports, and music, your commute will never sound the same again. Beyond AM, beyond FM, XM Satellite Radio. Starting as low as $300 at your local electronics store.
Well, Super Tuesday tomorrow on ESPN and ESPN2. College basketball from top conferences, and you don't want to miss them. 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. A Big Ten battle. Number 19, Illinois, takes on Michigan State. Meanwhile, at 8 o'clock Eastern time at ESPN2, Georgetown against Seton Hall in the Big East. Then at 9 Eastern on ESPN, an SEC matchup, and this is a huge one in that conference. Florida and Georgia, number 6 against number 22.
Fabulous job by Jim Herrick at Georgia. They knocked off Florida down in Florida, so the rematch could be fun.
Shooting, KU 4 of their last 13 and 0 of their last 3 as far as three-point conversions or shots. Simeon scores as he gets the ball in deep and puts the Jayhawks back on top by 1.
A big rebound. Texas had a chance. Take that rebound, go down with the lead.
Ron Franklin, John Sunvole coming to you from a jam-packed Irwin Center, a campus at the University of Texas. Big Monday presented by Bud Light. And this one has had every ingredient that we expected, but the speed, the pace of this game has been extremely rapid. Thomas, pass very low, goes on the floor, and it's going to go back to Kansas.
Good hands, good help by Miles. Out top, he came back in and got a poke in there, so James Thomas could not pick up that bounce pass.
Rick Barnes up and on Boddicker a little bit about the pass from in tight, very low for Thomas, and a turnover that he thought should not have been. Turnovers 6 against Texas, and that's as many as they had all Saturday afternoon. And the game has scored 104 points.
Let's steal about 4. Lazy pass by Boschek.
On the wing, Mouton pulls up, got it.
A good tandem to watch. Ford is quick, and Mouton simply spots up, finds openings.
Ford now with 5 assists in the first half. his nation's leading average as Heinrich scores, and he'll get an opportunity for a three-point play. The average is just over 8 per ball game and 5 here in the first half.
Yeah, the ability of Heinrich to get his body into the defender. Ross guarded him here and off the dribble. Watch the lean, the contact, and then the finish, the concentration. Spectacular year this young man has had.
Misses, but Simeon is right there. Misses on the follow, but this time Mouton comes away with it. TJ Ford guarded closely, and Mouton has it taken away by Heinrich, and then Ford is right there to regather it. Under a minute and a half left until halftime. Ford behind the back, then lost it, and Carey takes it away. Miles says let's run. He's got Boshi on the left wing, and he'll take it all the way himself. And Simeon on the air ball, or was it a pass, John?
I couldn't tell, but he threw that thing like right in front of the rim. I'll give him an assist.
45-42 Jayhawks. Knocked away, lazy pass by Mouton, and Miles back to Heinrich, and he misses as he hit underneath the rim, and the ball touched last by Kansas.
Ron, what happens when you're tired? TJ Ford popped out. He didn't try to catch the ball. He didn't meet the ball. He stayed there. That allowed Miles to shoot the game.
Well, the Mass Mutual Financial Group halftime report and Sports Center in-game are just ahead. Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps standing by. Snowboarding sweep and NHL rules. That's coming up in 48.5 seconds.
20-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
Ford misses. Thomas on the follow, and he got it. That's good, strong work inside by James Thomas. Heinrich at the other end, and he'll muscle it up, score, and Boddicker gets the foul.
Wow. They don't stop. It's amazing how fast they get it down there. James Thomas doing work again on the offensive glass and finishes, and how quickly the ball comes in, and Heinrich's right there in your screen, and then he's on the other end laying it in. Freddie Williams again tried to meet him at the catch, didn't quite get there.
So Boddicker with 2 fouls, and Heinrich in scoring, and he the only one. No, I'll take it back. He's got 14 points. Simeon also in double figures with 11. 15 points from Mouton to lead the way for the Longhorns, and Ivy with 8.
And a trap it at point. Kansas at times wants to dictate how the end halves and not let a point guard just stand and dribble, pick you apart. Kansas would rather have it in Freddie Williams here than TJ Ford.
Williams back over to Boddicker. Pump fake. Holds inside the line. Almost put up an air ball. Tries to get the follow as Williams not there. And Boshi will hear the horn sound as that shot would not have counted had it gone. So we're at halftime with the score. Kansas 48 and Texas 44. Now let's send it to Chris Fowler with the Mass Mutual Financial Group halftime report and Sports Center in-game. Chris.
Ron and John, thank you. Coming up, we'll have highlights of Game 1. UConn and Nova. Well, at least it came down to the last minute, Digger.
That was the final score.
Plus, highlights from the NHL, the Bruins and the Avs get together in Denver. That's straight ahead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the highlight. And by GMC. From professional-grade people come professional-grade trucks.
I wonder how our home equity loan's going.
I'll check.
Want banks to compete for your home equity loan? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Beer spends hours before it's really beer. Then yeast is added and then suddenly beer is born. It's alive. And yeast is everything. It's a beer's genes, its bloodlines. Frederick Miller carried this yeast here from Germany in his pocket nearly 150 years ago. It's our beer's past, present, future. Not many get to see it. Even fewer get to touch it. But when it's Miller time, you can always taste it.
You gotta do the hard stuff. You gotta clean out the closets. Get on with your life without her.
When we lose someone, are they gone forever?
I felt like she was there in the house.
She said you'd be coming to see me.
Charlie, there's something going on.
This is not a joke. It was Emily.
She's trying to reach me.
Emily!
Dragonfly, rated PG-13, at theaters Friday, February 22nd.
It's Super Tuesday. Time to double up on those wedges. Buzzy, take.
The Illini take on the Spartans. The Gators battle Georgia. Super Tuesday. Coverage begins at 7 Tuesday on ESPN and ESPN2.
Sports Center in-game. This halftime report is presented by Mass Mutual Financial Group. You can't predict. You can prepare.
14 points for Kirk Heinrich. The Jayhawks lead the Longhorns by 4, although All-American Drew Gooden does have 3 fouls at this point. And welcome back to our Sports Center in-game Mass Mutual halftime report. American Olympic history today at the very untraditional venue of the snowboard halfpipe in front of 30,000 totally stoked fans. The U.S. team taking a huge hit on the halfpipe. The second ever Winter Games gold, silver, bronze sweep. The other was back in 1956. Ross Powers, X-Game veteran, takes the gold after a bronze in Nagano. Danny Cass the silver, and X-Games champion Jarrett Thomas, known as JJ, takes the bronze. Afterward, the golden boy with a totally stoked Steve Cyphers.
I guess I was the first one to go because I didn't qualify as high as these guys, so I had to just go down and throw it down, and luckily I did it on my first run. It was kind of nervous sitting there, but it all worked out. I'm stoked to be up here with these guys.
You backed it up. In Nagano, you got the bronze, and now you have the gold. Is there a greater feeling of enjoyment than there was 4 years ago?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Nagano was huge for me, getting the bronze there, but here, doing it in the States and being here right with my friends and everything, and having snowboarding be at the level it is now, it's huge for me, for sure.
Sweep in the men's, plus the gold on the women's halfpipe, gives U.S. 4 snowboarding medals and a total of 6, tie with Germany and Austria for the lead. In the luge, American Adam Hite took 4th. Georg Hackl denied a bid to 4th consecutive gold medal. He took the silver in the luge. Women's downhill postponed until tomorrow. Gusty 25-mile-per-hour winds at the top of the course made things a little bit dangerous, a little bit unfair for the women. So Peekaboo Street and her fellow competitors will give it a go on Tuesday morning. Zilgi Palfi of the LA Kings competing for the Slovakian hockey team. Now, NHL players don't have total clearance to compete in the preliminary round. It's at the discretion of the clubs. He played on Saturday, wasn't therefore cleared to play on Sunday, had to fly home. The Kings say they will not fine Palfi. Next week, of course, the NHL shuts down and the second round begins. Tonight in the NHL, the Bruins, number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, visiting number 2 in the West, the Avalanche. First period, 1-zip lead, and then Stefan Yell breaks in. Goaltender lost his stick at that point, 2-zip Colorado. Then right in Verbata, slapper, Tanguay, the rebound, quick pass to the captain, Joe Sakic, who makes it 3-0 Colorado. It was 3-2 after a couple of Boston goals, and Verbata on the rebound of the Tanguay shot. Avalanche lead at 4-2. That's where they stand after 2 periods at the Pepsi Center. Wings and Canadians are tied 2-2. Steve Yzerman returning his first game since January 26th. Well, a couple days after a deep disappointment denied the head coaching job by the ownership of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Marvin Lewis has a new job as the defensive coordinator for Steve Spurrier and the Washington Redskins. He's, of course, directed the dominant defense of the Ravens the past few years, a very short move from Baltimore up to Washington. He's now the highest paid NFL assistant.
This provided an opportunity, a new challenge. I probably acted in haste Saturday morning a little bit after going through a very tough Friday. It provides a new challenge. to work with Coach Spurrier. I've learned a great deal over the last 3 seasons with Brian. I've learned so much. I'll be able to, I think, add a lot of things to Coach Spurrier here and him coming into the NFL.
Lewis, of course, was the choice of Tampa GM Rich McKay. That veto by the ownership has only reportedly deepened a rift between McKay and the ownership, and reports say that McKay is now looking to leave his post as Tampa GM. More on that story on SportsCenter with Stuart Scott and John Anderson. Plus that 1-2-3 sweep in the snowboard, and the question of who's going to coach Tampa Bay after the smoke from this mess clears. More points in the first half of our game than they had the entire game of UConn Nova. We'll have highlights. Zigger joins me when we come back.
A legend reborn. Cadillac CTS. Breakthrough.
So, set up a department meeting for tomorrow and put in a call to the client. Get them up to speed. Anything else?
Here's a thought. Instead of saving money by not using paper, we could just go to Staples.
Yeah, with Staples 365 savings, they compare prices and back it up with a 110% price match guarantee.
I like that. Jot that down.
Low prices on every item, every day. Staples 365 savings. Yeah, we've got that.
For the courageous New England Patriots, the forecast turned out super.
30, 25, 50.
Share the thrills with Sports Illustrated and the great new NFL Films video, The New England Patriots Super Bowl 36 Champions, on your choice of either VHS or DVD. Plus, this hardbound Sports Illustrated commemorative. This individually numbered classic captures the Patriots in championship style. Both are free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Call now for an inside look at the miraculous season of the New England Patriots, free with your paid order of 55 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.59 an issue. Save over 50% off the cover price. This Super Bowl football, designed exclusively for Sports Illustrated, is also free when you use your credit card. It's a super collectible you can't get anywhere else. Call now and get all three free with your choice of either VHS or DVD. This is where the action is. Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Well, welcome back to the Mass Mutual halftime report. It wasn't pretty earlier when UConn took on Nova Digger, but they've dug deep and they've managed to find some offensive highlights from the game. Karan Butler to Ben Gordon. The freshman didn't start, but came off the bench for the dunk. Tied in the early going. You can see 9 minutes in, it's about 6-6. Later in the first half, Derek Snowden will knock down the triple. Nova had the lead here. Finally, though, the turnovers did him in. UConn, great job defensively. Butler, the steal, takes it down. Nice little lay-in. He had 9 at the half. UConn still down by a point at the break, but they pull away in the second half. Butler takes it off the wing. Nice little punch down. And UConn begins to pull away. There's Butler grabbing the board now. He'll get the put back. Nova just all kinds of problems once again with turnovers.
Yeah, but Gary Buchanan, who was a star in the win over UCLA where he hit 6 threes, only 1 for 8 tonight. And this is the only one that Buchanan makes as he struggles with only 9 points after scoring 20 against UCLA.
Huskies on the break again. Talik Brown to Gordon. He misses, but there's Butler to clean it up. Butler had 20. UConn's won 8 of the last 11 against Nova. UConn 8-3 in first place of the Big East. Nova up to 4-7.
Well, Villanova only had 9 turnovers because UCLA just refused to press them, and they averaged 20 in all their losses. They had 9 the first half tonight. That helped UConn stay even. But it was a slowdown by Jay Wright early in the game, taking 10 seconds off the clock. It's a good strategy, but they lose.
Jerome Coleman, 21, as Rutgers steps out of conference and knock off St. Peter's.
4 guys in double figures. They got a showdown at the rack Thursday night. Irish coming in with 5 straight wins.
We're watching a great Big 12 game. Kansas, a 4-point lead on the road against Texas. Big week coming up in this conference.
Big week coming up, and I just don't know if this second half you want to run with these guys for 40 minutes. But we look at wins and games and coming up, I just feel this is a big week in the Big 12. Tomorrow night, Baylor plays at, you got it, at Texas Tech. And that's going to be a big one because Dave Bliss, a former assistant, is getting there. Wednesday night, Oklahoma State, key matchup. I think that's going to really test what goes on. But Missouri's also at Nebraska on Wednesday night. And then I think when you look at this weekend, I think Texas at Missouri is going to be a showdown for the seeds. When we take a look at the Big 12 conference tournament coming up, the seeds are going to be important. And it's obviously got 6 strong teams, but it's going to determine how well you get seeded for the NCAA tournament based on this big week coming up in the Big 12.
You tell me the General's going down Saturday in Boulder. I don't know.
I just think that's good. They lost at Nebraska.
He's picking against.
They lost at Nebraska. I think Colorado's going to be a tough game for Texas Tech this weekend.
Digger, where are you going to be at midnight? Watching this Utah-UNLV game?
Absolutely, because Utah went down last week. I thought they're going to win that, playing Wyoming at home. Rick Majerus needs his win at UNLV to stay tied in first place with Wyoming.
In the Mountain West, Colorado State's a 1-7 team.
Why are they playing now?
Well, why are they playing?
They go skiing this week or what?
Michigan up by 4 at the break. Hey, the 39-game home win streak for Detroit is snapped by Wisconsin Green Bay.
Green Bay, I'll tell you something. The Horizon Conference tournament is going to be wild when you look at Butler, Detroit, Milwaukee, University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. But Green Bay, that's a big win tonight.
Longest home win streak now belongs to BYU at 32. And Kirk Heinrich, maybe the Kansas fans watching or helping as they're running to their computer and logging on and voting. Big man on campus. He leads over Steve Logan. And Heinrich, the polls maybe still open. He's helping his cause. 14 points in the first half. Kansas leads by 4. Back to Ron and John for a great second half after this.
Never yield to convention. Cadillac CTS. Breakthrough.
Brown makes work easy. Brown helps me get it done. Brown keeps track of my addresses. Brown tells people their shipments are coming. Brown even prints the labels for me. Brown takes care of me. I love Brown.
Desktop shipping made easy. What can Brown do for you?
Red McCombs Toyota announces 2002 Camry LE with all the bells and whistles, only $18,900. 2002. Get new Corollas with air and automatic, only $12,500. Or Camry LEs with air, automatic, and LE trim, only $18,900. Even Tundra Extra Cab SR5s with air, automatic, and V8, only $22,900. Hurry for the final whistle blows on 2002 Camry LEs for $18,900. Nobody deals like Red McCombs Toyota.
Roadrunner works instantly. It's real high speed.
Roadrunner saves me so much time.
It's always connected online. No dialing in.
I want a music clip. I got it.
I never get cut off in the middle of a session. No delays. None whatsoever.
Just sweet speed.
Everything happens like that. Instantly.
Call today for our special offer of $19.95 for the first 3 months of Roadrunner service.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, presented by Bud Light, is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Get the door, it's Domino's. And by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Nice look up South Congress toward the state capitol here in Austin. Jam-packed house at the Irwin Special Event Center, and they have been entertained. 48-44, the #2 team in the land, battling the Texas Longhorns here tonight. And John, you hear the term survival of the fittest. That may be what we have here tonight if these two teams continue this pace.
Well, great pace, and players love to play at this pace because they have more opportunities to score, get open shots. I think what Texas, Rick Barnes probably addressed at halftime, we have to quit giving up layups and open looks. And you take a look at the bottom two, and you look at fast break points, take a look at points in the paint. Fast breaks points, 10-2 points in the paint. 30-14. This Kansas team will make you pay if you have a defensive lap. We saw 2 underneath inbounds plays. Remember, they just laid it in point blank.
John, we were discussing at halftime, Boddicker, 8 first-half points. He is key as far as Texas staying around in this ball game.
Yeah, I think he's a great matchup, tough matchup for an opponent. In fact, that he can face up and shoot it from three-point land. Had a solid first half.
T.J. Ford. Texas opens it on offense. Back over to Ivy. Same starting 5 that was out there for the Longhorns tonight when they began.
A little 2-3 zone may protect Gooden in the middle. 3 personal fouls.
Mouton with the bounce pass into Thomas, and the jump hook goes.
Good patience by this Longhorn team.
I'll tell you, these officials tonight they're earning their keep. We were talking to Steve Welmer at halftime, and he said, this is a little tough on big old guys. Lob to Gooden.
Well, how many times have we seen Kansas play, Ron, where the start of the second half, Gooden gets a point-blank look. Another good pass by Miles. On Saturday, Texas dissected the Colorado zone defense. T.J. Ford was so effective passing through the lane.
Mouton couldn't get the shot to go. They battle inside. Collison, the ball tied up, and it's going to go the other direction.
Back screen from Heinrich, and up top, easy finish for Gooden. Actually, Erskine went underneath and didn't necessarily get screened.
Boshi covered up by Ivy, and the turnaround, and Gooden comes out. And how many times we talked about this? Have you seen him come out smoking when he's frustrated in the first half?
Well, All-American again. He's 2 for 9 in the first half. You know he's going to be looking. I like what Roy Williams is doing defensively, though. They're putting a zone that protects Gooden a little bit. Where you have to be careful in the zone, though, you don't find guys to block out sometimes, and they come from all angles.
Texas had 5 assists in the first half, all by Ford. Kansas with 11 assists, 5 of those by Miles. And Thomas continues to have a hot hand, both rebounding and scoring. The big fella has stepped up extremely well. Got to be careful. He's playing with 2 fouls. Ivy gets the rebound. Texas runs. You got Mouton on the wing, Ford on the other wing, and Ford will take it the distance and score.
Texas better when they run, when they push, and when Ford has it in his hand.
I tell you, there are not too many people sitting in this arena, all 16,000 plus, up and cheering. As that pass goes to Gooden and over the top of Thomas. Can't get it, and Thomas comes down with the rebound. Six rebounds for Thomas. The three-pointer off the mark. And Collison will grab that one down. So Thomas with 6 and 8 points. And at the other end, won't go. Battle by Gooden, gets it back, and they score.
Yeah, Gooden's got to be careful, Ron. He's had 2 possessions where he's been over the top. Now, he hasn't fouled, but he's close. Does not want to pick up that 4th. Good finish, though.
So the individual scoring, Gooden with 12, Heinrich with 12, 11 for Simeon. And how many points they have gotten in the paint tonight.
Good pass from Thomas up top. Now this Longhorn team, again, when they push and it ends up in T.J. Ford's hands, usually good things happen.
I was talking about the paint, John. Of the 54 points, 30 of those have come in the paint for KU tonight.
Yeah, the ability really to push it up the floor.
Ford. Dishes back out in the corner. Ivy for 3, not there. Boddicker with the rebound. He'll put it on the floor one time and then put up the ball. He short-armed that one. Miles, cross courts to Boshi. He's not there, and Boddicker comes away with the rebound. Crowd wanted a foul on Gooden. There will be none. And at the other end, Mouton, and it's tipped up and in by Ivy. Better get back.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
Yeah,
huh?
That's right.
And with this pace, it allows for tip-ins. It allows for offensive rebounds.
3 fouls on Boddicker, and quickly.
And the reason is, in transition, defensively, you're getting back. Boshi sprints, but he doesn't find anybody behind him. So Ivy's got a free shot. Anytime you're pushing it offensively, defensive team just trying to get back to the paint.
Erskine comes out. Ivy comes out. Klotz checks back into the lineup. Boddicker will stay in with his 3 fouls, and Freddie Williams back in the lineup. And Gooden gets to take a step closer and knocks that one down. Boy, is he hot here in the second half.
Nice soft touch.
About to go into 16 minutes.
And Rick Barnes keeping fresh bodies in this ball game. It is warm in this building.
Because of the big crowd, it's very warm. Boddicker with 3 more.
What a good time for this young man to find his confidence.
Gooden 2 of 9 in the first half, 4 of 6 here in the second half. But you pointed out, Boddicker is a must for Texas.
He makes them a different team. The way he can step out, bring the defense away from the hoop.
Heinrich with the screen out high from Collison. Now Collison puts it on the floor, deep in the corner, steps back for 3, not there. Collison, nobody blocked him out, and he scores and was fouled.
Ron, if Texas gets back defensively as they did that time, they are a very good on-the-ball defensive team. Make Kansas work. Good move, and Collison kicked it out. Miles missed it, and nobody picked Collison back up.
So Gooden goes to the bench. Simeon comes in the lineup, and the big freshman 5 of 7 in the first half for 11 points. As you look at Klotz, he has not scored in the ball game. He does have 3 rebounds.
Simeon 11 points, 7 rebounds in the first half. A powerful, explosive player.
Off the mark, and if there's anything that Collison has a problem with, free throw shooting is not his forte. Mouton for 3.
This crowd and Texas fans will get used to in the next bunch of years and this year, Ford to Mouton.
Well, that's Klotz with another foul.
We have said this combination a lot. Ford to Mouton, and rotation is good on that one.
Roy Williams said after the shoot-around today, he said, Ron, we will have our hands full tonight. I know that. I know Rick Barnes, and I know how athletic his team is. And those were very prophetic words at this juncture.
And when you bring a team that's undefeated in conference play, number 2 in the country, the whole city's waiting for you.
Yeah.
You know, this crowd was here early. The students were excited. They get everybody's best shot, and they have responded so far this season.
Simeon. A lot of cool from the youngster. 13 points, and it ties his season high. We'll take a break. 2-point KU lead.
ESPN and ESPN2, home of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
A legend reborn. Cadillac CTS. Breakthrough.
Never pay long distance again with Singular Wireless. Save $100 on a Nokia phone. Nationwide self-expression is Singular.
Call Domino's for a free order of oven-fresh Cinnasticks when you buy any large one-topping pizza for $9.99. Sprinkled with cinnamon sugar and served with creamy icing, they're tough to resist. So call now, because at Domino's, we've got the dinner thing covered. Get the door. It's Domino's.
No, that's not yours. That's yours.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Make it a memory with jewelry from JCPenney. Save an extra $100 on a half-carat diamond heart pin at just $99.
It's all inside.
JCPenney.
Big Monday presented by Bud Light. 60-58, Kansas on top. And they just continue to go back and forth. Hotly contested, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. Take a look at the coaches poll, the top 25. Kansas sitting there at number 2, Maryland, then Oklahoma.
Cincinnati big win yesterday at Wake Forest, or I should say Saturday. And Sooners survived at College Station with some ball clubs that are playing extremely well in that top 10 right now.
Alabama got slowed down this weekend. They were about to start to run away with that division over there, and they got stopped.
Yeah, lost to Mississippi State.
Mark Gottfried's done a great job with that ball club, though, and they're a handful in the top 10. About to go under 15 minutes left in this one, and you see the numbers on the two halves. Boddicker back to Ford.
Boddicker took a little step to shoot and might have gotten away with a step.
Got away with a travel.
Got to do something with that ball.
Shot clock about to hit 10. And the ball almost stolen by Heinrich. Inside 5 seconds. Thomas can't get it. Mouton battles and he scores.
No block out. Mouton came all the way from the wing. Mentioned a physical player. Likes to mix it up when he can.
High screen by Simeon. Freddie Williams tries to hustle over to Miles. Boshi for three. Got it.
Oh, they're deadly. Who do you cover up and how do you get to the guys quickly enough?
John, you know the thing we talked about last week. You have to pick your poison. You want to run with them because they do transition so well. Then you move them into half court and they're deadly from three as well. But this Texas team,
it looks like Rick Barnes has given Aaron Miles more room maybe for his shot. But that time they ran at Miles and he simply kicked it to Boshi, and you're too late if you're not already on it.
Boddicker for three. Not there. Thomas.
Good block out.
Yep. Simeon got up underneath him. Thomas fortunate they didn't call that third foul. Collison over Boddicker. Short arm that one. Knocked away by Boddicker. And here's Ford. And he'll take it the distance. Can't get it. Pinned against the backboard by Boddicker, and Heinrich came away with it. The lob to Collison, an easy two.
Well, as they would say, that's a 4-point turnaround. You had what looked like it could be a layup on one end, and you're confident that T.J. Ford's going to make a finish there.
Rick Barnes is up and concerned that a foul was not called at the other end for his team. 5-point margin, Jayhawks. Mouton pulls up from 12. Not there. Thomas with still another rebound, and he scores it.
Two strong bodies inside going at each other. James Thomas and Wayne Simeon.
Miles left alone. His stroke. Got it.
So they leave him alone. He simply knocks it in. Good stroke and with confidence.
Miles now in double figures. 4 of 8 from the field, 50% from 3.
They'll keep an eye on Thomas and Simeon inside.
Boddicker, they leave him open again. The three is there.
Well, I'm sure they've scouted Boddicker well, and the young man has simply been struggling with his jump shot, but not tonight.
Freddie Williams, because of that injured tailbone, does not have the speed to get in front of the pack. But he picks up a foul, and I believe it's Boshi.
A big night for Brian Boddicker and a good ball game to have it. He has shot the ball well, 14 points, 4 of 6 from beyond the three-point line. And I mentioned Freddie Williams, really a terrific team player, and in his senior season, partial tear in his ACL early in the season, and came back.
And then if you missed the story, for those who joined us late, he injured a tailbone when he got flipped in the Texas A&M game. And on Saturday against Colorado, went down very hard in the first half, and John did not return. They did not know they were going to have him tonight.
Well, last year he was their most outstanding defensive player, a guy that won actually a couple ball games down the stretch just simply by making big steals and big baskets for this Longhorn team.
Freddie only a 61% free throw shooter and missed a couple of big ones in that overtime loss to Oklahoma here. See the difference in Gooden in the two halves. City now with 14 and 8 points in the second stanza, and we still got 12:22 left to play on the ball game. Williams gets the second one. Ivy will come into the lineup, and Freddie Williams goes to the bench. And Freddie Williams playing and showing a lot of guts tonight, because you can tell that he is moving in pain. 2-point game, and the crowd standing again, asking the Longhorns to come up with a stop. Boshi guarded closely by Ford. Simeon against Klotz, muscles his way, and he scores.
The ability of Simeon, he's got such a soft touch around the basket. Any kind of a fadeaway, 12 feet and in, makes him effective on the low post if he can't turn the shoulder and get to the rim.
Simeon now with a season high. Lob pass. Erskine went up, took it, missed the putback, and Simeon comes down with the rebound. John, we had his first game after he came back from the knee injury against Wake Forest, and he had a double-double that night in, what, 13 or 12 minutes, something like that.
Well, if he played on any other team, but besides the team that had maybe the best combination down low, Goodman Collison, he would have a lot more minutes. But Simeon has had a terrific night tonight. Gooden came back in. Kansas goes back to the zone defense. Again, you can protect him on the backside with 3 fouls.
Sid Mill-Harris for 3.
Again, terrific shooter, catch and release. You've got to get to him in a hurry.
37% from beyond the arc, but when he gets hot, as you know, he can light it up. Had a good day on Saturday. Boshi lost it, out of bounds. Turnover, KU. So there's a timeout. We'll take it with him. 10:56 left in the ball game. 72-69.
Her scent led me into the desert.
I can't believe this is really happening.
She can't resist my touch.
I love you.
Together we dance alone in the wilderness. I am a glorious man.
Let's get that home equity loan.
It's the Hendersons.
Get him a great deal.
Want banks to compete for your home equity loan? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back.
Chili's baby back ribs.
Barbecue sauce.
Sports Center every 20 minutes.
From the East Coast
Boston, 6 Carolina.
to the West.
Los Angeles with 2 goals.
Drivers everywhere have a new way to listen to the worldwide leader in sports. ESPN Radio on XM Satellite Radio.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is ESPN Radio.
With ESPN Radio, plus 99 other channels of news, sports, and music, your commute will never sound the same again. Beyond AM, beyond FM, XM Satellite Radio. Starting as low as $300 at your local electronics store.
John, we've talked a lot about Wayne Simeon, the outstanding freshman out of Leavenworth, Kansas. 15 points, 9 rebounds right now.
Well, he's brought his power and his energy and offensive rebounding. He's been able to take it to the rim. 15 points, as you mentioned, 9 rebounds. That is a season high on points. Relentless around the rim, and they are not putting a body on him. And if you don't, that's how he finishes.
Collison and Gooden both said they don't like to practice against him because he possesses such a great body that he bangs them around, and it's just he's obviously very competitive, but when it's at a workout, he's trying to impress the coaches
and knows how to use that body. Very effective, good moves.
So this time Heinrich comes up, and again they will apply a little early pressure on TJ Ford. TJ, left-handed dribble, and he was fouled by Heinrich.
Must give this young guy some space. Terrific hesitation dribble. First step is explosive. He'll hesitate right there. Boom. Now he's got Heinrich on his side, and he's in control.
Second foul against Heinrich. 3rd team foul.
What you like about TJ Ford is his unselfish play and his ability to run the club as a freshman. I mean, he's got a terrific feel of pace of play, how they are playing as a team. Patient down the stretch, knocks in free throws.
Gets them both. 1-point ball game. About to go under 10 minutes left in this one. Far from over. Monica way out high against Gooden now. Gooden puts it on the floor, dishes to Collison, blocked by Thomas, and here comes Ford. Boshi gets back to help out, so it's 1-on-2, scores, and he'll go to the line.
Defense on one end by Thomas, and the push by Ford. Take advantage of your quickness and your speed, and look at the block by Thomas from underneath. And then the push, and it's simply Heinrich can't get in position to slow down Ford.
Ford with 8 assists and 8 points. Trying to cap off the three-point play, and he does. The last time Texas led was 42-41. That was with 2:03 remaining in the first. Horns up by a couple. It's Boshi. That's going to be a push on Ford. First foul on him. Well, we talked about Williams and a gutsy effort by him tonight. Obviously a gutsy effort by Boshi as well. He's got 9 points tonight, all from beyond the arc, but playing with that injury to his left thumb.
It hasn't affected him, doesn't look like, even when he's dribbling. Good defense by this Longhorn team. Again, they have very good on-ball defenders. It's hard to get by them.
Heinrich takes it the distance. Ford knocked it away from him, but it was touched last by Texas, and the shot clock shows 17.
We're on this Longhorn, a different team when Mouton and Boddicker and Ivy are knocking in shots from the outside.
The lob inside, and they score again.
The third time they've been able to get the lob at the rim.
And let's see, is that going to be Heinrich?
It's his 4th personal foul.
Well, now, folks, that's huge. 9 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the ball game, and Heinrich has to go to the bench. Miles will come back in, and I mentioned in the first half, as we take a look at it one more time, if there's anything that Kirk might get himself in trouble with, he is so aggressive that sometimes reach-ins, and he gets himself in foul trouble.
Well, and if you took a poll amongst the coaches in the Big 12 and people who have watched this team, that's the guy that they think this Kansas team does not want on the sideline. Got to have Heinrich. We'll see how the teammates respond.
Well, that's a turnover as Thomas couldn't get to the ball, and he knocked it out of bounds. He could touch it, but he couldn't maintain possession.
Collison and Gooden were on inside. Need touches. Better opportunities. Good screen down for Boshi.
Boshi for 3.
Big basket. Good screen down.
Ford.
Got it. Wow. They list him at 5'10". And Roy Williams trying to say that you've got to slide your feet, and what happens is Miles gets stuck behind Gooden, and the turn.
John, what a shot. The crowd is looking up, and they're excited at the scoreboard, but the scoreboard's reversed. And actually, it's wrong. It shows 79 Texas and 77.
It's kind of going the wrong way.
That's right. Now they're taking it back out.
They gave the 3 that Boshi hit.
But Joe Holliday, one of the assistant coaches, walked all the way down to the scorer's table and said, "Are you sure?" Because he's got his pad and pencil over there, and he said, "It's not adding up that way for me." Ford tries to tie it again for Texas.
His coaching staff loves this young man, and they want him to be aggressive with the ball. He loves to pass, but when he scores, they're really thick.
Big Monday presented by Bud Light. And on the drive, counted for Langford. And they come right back. Thomas in transition, and they call travel. Little too close, and that's a tough pass for a big guy on traffic.
Yeah, but what's amazing is Kansas, again, they point blank get it to the rim in such a hurry after a made free throw. It would surprise you.
You could see the clock about to go under 9 minutes left in this one. Kansas, the #2 team in the land, up by 2 over a very stubborn Texas team that has played them extremely tough.
3-2 zone defense now. Ooh, fortunate pass to get through.
Ford went right through his arms. Boshi for 3. Couldn't find a teammate open. And Thomas goes to go to the top of Ford for the rebound. Ivy on the wing has Boddicker open. He'll put it on the floor. Reverses the turn, blocked by Collison. And stolen right back by Ivy, and as they battle on the floor,
Foul by Langford, I believe. Good steal by Ivy. At times, Kansas, again, they're in a hurry to get it up the floor, but big guys will catch it and fire that outlet pass. Good block by Collison to watch as he fires this up the sideline. There stands Royal Ivy waiting for that ball.
Now that is 17 fouls on Kansas. Now the board, now they have changed it. That's 3 fouls on Langford.
Keith Langford, a Texas native out of Fort Worth.
There's some people who say that Langford would have committed to Texas at the end of his junior year, and Texas didn't offer him a scholarship. So Ballard will come into the lineup, and Langford will go to the bench.
He has been a terrific addition to Roy Williams' team at Kansas. Good freshman year.
Ivy knocks it down. So Royal Ivy with a dozen now. Tied again at 79. Gooden for 3. Thomas has it knocked away, and Mouton will scurry for it and get it out to Ivy.
Now Texas will welcome Drew Gooden shooting 3-pointers. He is now 5 of 22 from out there.
9th tie of the ball game. And a whistle away from the ball.
Will be on Thomas. Thomas trying to establish himself, but simply was moving Collison up the lane. That's his 3rd personal foul, and Collison will be right there, and there's James just bashes into it.
So 3 fouls on him. Gooden with 3 fouls as well. And Gooden's on the bench right now. And Rick Barnes is going to leave Thomas in the lineup.
Zone defense, Kansas probably the best in the country at setting back screens down low to get big guys open against zone.
Ballard for 3.
Wow, what a shot. What a big hoop from this guy. Off the bench.
Bonus points for the Jayhawks by Ballard as he comes off, having to relieve Heinrich, who is in foul trouble with 4 and sitting on the bench. But we still have almost 7.5 minutes to play. Mouton has to arc that one very high. Boddicker rebound and follows.
Soft touch.
Boshi. Tell you what, they need to hurt that thumb every week. He has been outstanding.
Well, his whole senior season, he has had some big plays and big shots. He had the 3-pointer against Iowa State in Ames and really won the game. He'll pick up his 3rd personal that time, and a good foul put James Thomas on the free throw line.
Roy Williams just puts his head in his hands and shakes his head. 18 fouls against the Jayhawks.
Not so much on the foul, but on the way that you're late getting over the top to Thomas. You miss the ball, he's going to have an easy dunk.
Thomas misses the first. So as you said, John, it turns into a good foul. Trying to cut it to a 2-point margin. Missed them both. Boshi bounce it inside. Simeon with that soft touch. And that's the thing that maybe is most impressive about him as a 6'9", 250-pounder. He blocks the ball at the other end. With soft touch and such great body control.
And Simeon will run to that other end. And last time Boddicker allowed him that low post position.
Boshi just a bit off the mark. Simeon gets the ball, though. Thomas going to have to be careful. And I think stepped out of bounds. So we'll take a break. 6:50 remaining. Kansas by 5 in a great one.
Coming up on SportsCenter, after all he's accomplished, what drives Jeff Gordon? The Redskins introduce yet another new coach. And the NBA's on break, but we still have the plays of the first half. That's all after college basketball on ESPN.
Everybody's playing their own game out there. Don't you kids get it?
Brian Dennehy is Bobby Knight.
Playing my game is what got you here.
A season on the brink. Sunday, March 10, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on ESPN.
Nice is for losers.
The
Forewarned Storm Tees, San Antonio's only team of certified meteorologists.
When you have a team of certified meteorologists, I think there's a trust there.
Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Brew.
We've been watching this one.
Meteorologist Steve Linscomb.
Rotation within the cloud.
Meteorologist Bill Dante.
This has got large hail with it. When you put all of this together, there's years of experience.
Certified meteorologist.
We do have that accreditation, and it's important.
Watch the Forewarned Storm Team only on News 4 San Antonio, working for you.
Everything's bigger in Texas. Even the tough jobs are just a little bit tougher. That's why there's Ford Super Duty. It has the highest payload in its class and the roomiest cabs with standard 4 doors. And now Super Duty offers the most conventional trailer towing of any pickup to pull over 6 tons of Texas toughness. That's why Super Duty outsells Chevy and Dodge combined. Now get 0% financing or $1,000 cash back on Super Duty at your Texas Ford dealer today.
86-81 Kansas. And a reminder, more basketball on the way. Utah against UNLV at midnight on ESPN. Charlie Spoonhour's Runnin' Rebels host Nick Jacobson and the Utes. Big Monday, presented by Bud Light. Ron Franklin, John Sunbull coming to you from a jam-packed Irwin Center on the campus of the University of Texas.
Take a look at the scoring margin. Last 4 ball games, we've said they averaged 103 points in those games. Tonight, they're only ahead by 5. 6:50 left. Ron, how about this? 86-81. Nearly 7 minutes left in this game.
Ford is Ballard staying with him all the way up the court, trying to slow him down a little bit.
Kansas, the leading scoring team in the country.
T.J. Ford put him on his hip and just kissed it off the glass. Ballard at the other end looking for a bouncer into Simeon, and they get a double from Ford. Weak side to help, and he knocks it away. Freddie Williams, cross court, taken away by Miles. The Texas back in transition. Miles, they leave him alone. He's already canned 2 from beyond the arc, but he misses that one. T.J. Ford. He averages just over 8 assists a night, and he has 8 in this ball game this evening, leading the nation, trying to become the first freshman to do that since they started keeping numbers back in '83 and '84. Pulls out, can't get the 17-footer to go, and the rebound by Collison. Ballard in the corner, and on the bouncer. Royale Ivy gets his 3rd foul.
You mentioned Ford. He is on pace to break the assist record. Johnny Moore at Texas. Bounce pass in low again. Simeon runs right to the block. Gets low post position. Probably a good thing there was a whistle called.
Freddie Williams comes out. Boddicker comes out. Mouton, Ivy, Ford, Thomas, and Erskine. And on the inbounds pass, I'll tell you, they have put on a clinic tonight.
It's amazing. And a breakdown, communication breakdown by the players on the floor. Texas went through this yesterday in their practice, talked about it. This is the 4th time that Kansas has thrown it to the rim. What a finish, and then the foul to boot.
Gooden now with 20 points in the ball game. Make it 21. 2 of 9 in the first half. He is 70% in the second half. 7 of 10. Pretty high percentage on scoring on that last one, though, John.
Well, Ballard has to be careful. Has to give Ford some room. Wants to put some pressure on, but don't pick up a foul. Put Ford on the free throw line.
Mouton has good control. Blocked inside. Thomas tries to fight away with it, and he does, and loses it back to Mouton. And Gooden got the block, but he also was a goaltend.
Yeah, inside it came, fortunately, to Mouton right by the basket. Good call.
So it's back to a 4-point game. 5 minutes, 22 seconds left. Rick Barnes trying to maintain his perfect record on Big Monday. 5-0 here at the Irwin Center. They got their hands full with this #2 Jayhawk team tonight. The lob, Gooden is right there.
Erskine is 6'6". Drew Gooden 6'10". Nice pass from Collison. Up high, away from the defender. Perfectly set up by the coaching staff on the sideline.
Ivy gets the runner, moves, can't get it to go. Thomas on the follow and he scores. And Thomas should have a double-double now because it should be his 10th rebound, and he already had 10 points.
What a workmanlike effort from Thomas. Another over the top. Good pass from Boshi.
Allison now with a dozen.
Texas getting caught on the top side. And no help from behind. Let's take a look at the high-low action. And Gooden's going to seal Erskine over the top. Easy pass, and now Collison down low again. Thomas got caught on the top side. No help side defense. Oshie right on the money.
Miles with his second foul as Ford scores. On Saturday, Texas had 6 men in double figures. First time that had ever happened during the Rick Barnes regime. Tonight, they have 5. Boddicker, Mouton, Ford, Ivy, and Thomas. But Kansas has 6 men in double figures tonight because of the effort by the big freshman Simeon, who has 17.
Well, from one freshman to the other. Ford now 6 of 6 from the foul line after going 10 of 10 from the free throw line against Colorado on Saturday.
14 points in the second half for Ford. He had 2 in the first half, and Boshi way off on that shot, and another rebound for Thomas. Mouton for 3. Bingo. Folks, it is heating up. 93-92, the Jayhawks.
Oh, what a ball game. Huh? Thomas working hard down low against the Kansas big men. Mouton simply running the floor, and T.J. Ford distributing the basketball.
Collison out high. Looks for Gooden. Goes back to Miles. The bouncer into Gooden and a jump hook. Everything he is stroking now.
Yeah.
That puts him at like 80% for the second half shooting.
Good set play. Cleared everybody out. Miles a little drop pass.
Ford all the way into traffic, and it went off Kansas last. 24 seconds on the shot clock, but we'll tell you more about it when we return. 3:31 left in the ball game. KU by 3.
Led me into the desert.
I can't believe this is really happening.
She can't resist my touch.
I love you.
Together we dance alone in the wilderness. I am a glorious man.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do.
If you never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you. And if you call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt with your video. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of One.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is presented by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And in part by the all-new Toyota Matrix. Get the feeling.
Some of the Longhorn faithful in attendance here tonight. Just under 16,000 on hand. It's Kansas 95-92. Coming up later at Sports Center with Stuart Scott and John Anderson for all the day's sports news and highlights at midnight on ESPN Utah at UNLV in our Big Monday nightcap. I tell you, these 3 officials, Steve Welmer, Tom O'Neill, and Ted Hillary, have earned their keep tonight. This has been a tough one to keep up with.
Well, it's been a good one to watch for their sake, too. It's been a good play. They've not had many difficult calls inside. Heinrich back in with 4 personal, which is fine with 3:30 left. You need him on the floor. He will guard Mouton.
Shot clock under 20. Ford spins, gets it back outside to Ivy. And Ivy will pull up from 8. Short arm that one. Heinrich skies for the rebound. Bounced it once and then got it back to Gooden. Rick Barnes says, "Are you sure that wasn't a travel?"
And last time down, remember, they cleared it out, ran a box set, cleared it out for Gooden on the low block. This time he's being guarded by Boddicker. Here it is again, same thing.
Quick jump hook play, not there, and Thomas had it, and then Collison knocked it away from him, but he knocked it out of bounds. Under 3 minutes to play. Kansas 95, Texas 92. TJ Ford blocked by Collison, hard on the floor as Ford is holding his right hip and is just now up. Boshi in the corner, three-pointer on the way, not there, but Collison gets the rebound, and it's blocked by Thomas.
Kansas backs it out again. Good blocks on both ends of the floor. Irwin Center now getting involved. Defensive end. Gooden over the top of Ford. Couldn't get the pass taken by Boddicker. And then Ford quickly to Mouton, and he'll get it back to Ford. Ford in the ball game tonight with a total of 9 assists and 16 points. Boddicker for 3. Not there. Thomas battles inside. And it's going to be 3 fouls on Collison. That is a man going up for those rebounds. I'm telling you. He is physical inside. He's aggressive. Nick Collison trying to do a good job of blocking him out. And Thomas so strong when he gets a hand on the ball. It is his.
John, we were talking during the timeout. Of all the kids that Rick Barnes has to be extremely pleased with this season, particularly with Owen going out with the knee injury, is this young fellow right here, because he has had to work overtime. In conference play, to be averaging double-double is truly outstanding.
Well, when Chris Owens went out, they kind of thought, well, what happens? James Thomas is going to have to play more. Since Owens' injury, nearly 13 points and over 11 rebounds a game. Tonight, 12 points, 12 rebounds, 6 of 7 from the field, but 0 of 3 from the free throw line.
I started to say, his Achilles has been at the stripe tonight. 0 of 3, looking for his first. Trying to make it a 2-point ball game. Out of Schenectady, New York, and he missed the second one as well. 0 for 4 at the line.
And with 2 minutes left, every possession now is so important.
Free throws tonight, Kansas 8 of 11, Texas 18 of 26. Collison tried to dish it, and Boddicker took it away.
Good hands by Thomas, a force by Collison. Miles all by himself. Good job by Miles. He really cleared out the side for him.
TJ Ford blocked from behind by Miles and blocked, and dishes off, and the jam by Thomas. Woo. Timeout, Rick Barnes. So we'll take a break. Ford dishes to Thomas, and the Horns are within 1.
The Toyota 4Runner can take you places other vehicles can't, which could necessitate bringing on some additional equipment.
Hi, got your large pizza and free Cinesticks.
Great. Wow. Maybe it's the smell of the Cinesticks, or the fact that they're free. But I just want you to know, if I had a son, I'd want him to be just like you.
Hey, Dad, what's the holdup? We're starving.
Gotta go.
Topped with cinnamon sugar and served with creamy icing, it's Domino's freshly baked Cinesticks. Get a free order when you buy any large one-topping pizza for $9.99. Call now. Get the door. It's Domino's.
How may I help you, sir? Over here.
Why can't one change the past?
One cannot travel into the past.
I think I'll have better luck in a few hundred years.
On March 8th, strap in. Hold on tight.
Come closer. I don't bite.
And brace yourself for the greatest adventure through all time.
Nothing will ever change what happened.
I will change it.
The Time Machine, rated PG-13, starts Friday, March 8th.
So welcome back to Austin, and here's the situation. Each team of the 60. 3:30s remaining for Kansas, 2 for Texas. Fouls, KU with 10, 7 for the Longhorns, and the possession era is with the Longhorns.
You know, Kansas has been effective on the offensive end, getting good in the low post, or Boshi coming off it downstream. They did against, again, we mentioned against Iowa State in that big win. They've had some solid set plays for Gooden to get open.
Boshi gets it across the timeline. Mouton had to dodge. Hughes bomb it.
And the matchup again, Erskine at 6'6", on Gooden at 6'10".
Inside to Collison against Boddicker, and Ford's reached in and fouled him. And that's going to be the second foul on Ford. 8th team foul on Texas.
Well, established low post, Nick Collison. Good foul. Collison a 57% free throw shooter.
Yes, sir.
So Collison, 12 points tonight, 57%. You can see his season average. John and I had talked, and we mentioned it's been somewhat of a problem for him, and he misses this one. Front end of the 1-and-1. They fight for it, and it is going to be Texas basketball.
Well, the Longhorns can simply spread it out, put it in the hands of T.J. Ford. He will find shooters. You have Mouton, you have Boddicker, you have Ivy on the outside. They can take their time.
Everybody is standing around this arena, and Ted Hillary had to go over and ask the Texas players to find a seat because there was no space over there on the side in front of their bench. Shot clock under 20. Ford to the glass. Not there. Too hard, and here comes Miles. Boshi at the other end, and the foul is going to be on Boddicker.
We have good defense by Miles. A good no call in front of us. As Miles threw it over the top, and Boshi, smart play. Draw the contact. I thought Ford had a chance here, kind of open. He just simply missed it. Just missed it.
Yeah, just shot it a little too hard.
As they came the other way. Now Boshi, smart play. Great free throw shooter. He's going to get his body into Boddicker. Go to the foul line.
Boshi's first attempt off the mark. And as it turns out, this could wind up being a good foul as far as Boddicker is concerned.
Yep. Yeah, he misses the first one. See his season numbers, 81%. You would expect him to make this one.
Boshi eyes the hoop, gets it, and it's a 2-point game, 96-94, with 47.4 seconds remaining.
I think Miles has done a nice job on Ford, giving him some space, and when Ford goes up, just try to distract him.
I just think we're going to see this combination for 3 more years. He kicked it. Now, how big is this? 41 seconds on the clock, and now they get a new clock at 35 seconds, and Roy Williams folds his arm and looks in frustration as if to say, hey, guys, they can run it down and put us in a much more difficult situation.
Kansas just looking for defensive stop. Texas got their best shooter space. Good move by Ivy.
Ivy scores with 31 seconds left. And a timeout called by Texas. We are tied at 96.
Even game. When you're on the road, you want the last shot.
John, if you're Kansas, what do you do if you're in that coaching circle right now?
Yeah, we'll take a look at the replay first. How about Ivy putting it on the floor? Splitting the defense. Good jump stop to the finish. Timeout quickly by Rick Barnes. Wants to set his defense. It'll be interesting to see what he comes out with. If they want to force the hand of Kansas, make them speed something up, Kansas could simply run this down and take the last shot. You're on the road.
Kansas perfect, 10-0 in the conference, 21-2. Oklahoma in second place, and the Longhorns trying to get their 8th conference win of the year. KU trying to keep that record unblemished.
Well, there has been talk about going 16-0. A Kansas team did it in the Big 8 season, 1971, 14-0. Missouri team did it 1994 under Norm Stewart at 14-0, and James Dickey, Texas Tech, 1996 Southwest Conference 16-0. Not easy to do.
Well, KU is 0 for their last 3 shots, and since the 4:33 mark, Texas has outscored the Jayhawks 9-3. But the proof's going to be in the pudding here with 31 ticks showing on the clock.
Well, those free throws always important. 2 missed by Thomas on the Texas end, a couple missed by Collison, 1 missed by Boshi.
Coming up, Sports Center, Stuart Scott and John Anderson. And don't forget, after that at midnight, Utah against UNLV as Big Monday continues. But let's talk about this one here. 31 seconds left. Number 2 Kansas and Texas tied at 96.
Boshi must be careful if he handles the ball. Freddie Williams, again, quick hands. He will try to time the bounce and go for steal.
Miles walks it up. About to go under 20 seconds left in the ball game.
They will go for one shot. And they will call timeout when there's some clocks running down. There's Roy Williams gets timeout.
15.4 seconds left, and Roy Williams steps out and calls the timeout. And the inbounds pass as he talks to Ted Hillary. He said sideline right here in front of us. He wanted to make sure.
Well, they probably love it underneath the basket, the way they've converted on those plays.
On a reminder again, unless you're really short of mind, Sports Center is coming up next.
That wouldn't be Stuart Scott over there, would it?
Yes, John Anderson. I think it would be. Well, John, this Texas team,
oh, what a battle.
What a battle that they have come forth with. And they are always tough here in the Irwin Center. Rick Barnes has done a marvelous job with this club. And I keep going back and thinking of what Roy Williams said today as he walked into the shoot-around. He said, Ron, I don't care what anybody thinks. We got our hands full tonight, and I know it will be that way.
Well, we've seen this Texas team. Again, they will play on the defensive end. Offensively, Boddicker comes off the bench, gets 16 points so far in this ball game. Mouton has 25. When those guys are shooting well, you put in T.J. Ford and James Thomas, who night in, night out are consistent. This is a tough Texas ball club.
Showtime is back in. 15.4 seconds remaining. You see the numbers on Rick Barnes. Roy Williams has called his play. Heinrich will inbound the ball as he talks with Ted Hillary. Gets the screen from Collison, and it's Miles who will take it across the timeline. Nope, it's going to be Heinrich.
10 seconds, high screen and roll.
Heinrich puts it on the floor, crossover, puts up the shot, and doesn't go on the floor. Miles, we're going to overtime.
Great hustle by Collison, and Miles had a shot. Looked good from our angle.
So, Roy Williams with a smile on his face, and over at the other end, Rick Barnes with a smile on his face.
Well, you know, they probably weren't going to call anything here. Heinrich with the force, the crossover dribble. He loses it right here. Now he doesn't take a look around, see if anybody's available. Great play by Collison. Miles, what a look. You can't get anything better than that one. Right there, he loses the dribble and simple force. Well, I tell you what, wasn't much noise when young Miles shot that one. Rick Barnes, are you happy? Yes, he is. Always got to be proud of his team.
Well, that thought of you got another chance to live, knowing that the opposition had the ball with 15.4 seconds and an opportunity to win it in overtime. But now Texas with another opportunity. They lost to Oklahoma in their last overtime outing, and that was a week ago Saturday here at the Irwin Center. They defeated Stanford earlier this year in overtime, 83-75. They also defeated Texas Tech on the road, 74-71 in overtime, and they lost that game to OU by 1 point, 85-84. That was on February the 2nd.
Kansas has not been in any overtime games this year. Haven't had a whole lot of close ball games lately.
No, they haven't, but they have played a beast of a schedule, haven't they?
They have. Now this crowd has not had a seat this second half. They have been up the whole time.
Steve Ballmer to toss it up. Goes up, Thomas with the tip, and it comes down to Erskine. Ford signals that he wants motion.
16 points, 10 assists on the night for Ford.
Remember, Heinrich playing with 4 fouls. Gooden is playing with 3. Thomas playing with 3.
Good job by Miles defensively with 4.
Thomas along the baseline, and he'll take it all the way and score.
I think it surprised Collison that Thomas put it on the floor. It went all the way to the rim.
That ball hit by Ivy, but he knocked it out of bounds. 27 seconds on the shot clock.
Thomas nowhere to pass it, had not used his dribble, and Collison maybe forgot for a second. Good move by Big James.
Well, you can see the Miles possibly lucky not picking up a foul as TJ's jersey blossomed a couple of times.
We've talked a lot about the freshman TJ Ford. How about Aaron Miles? That is now his 12th assist tonight.
Ford looking for Mouton, but goes back to Ivy on the left side. Mouton back to Thomas, puts up the short shot, and he put up an air ball, and here comes KU. Boshi will push it, and now sets it up and looks back over for Miles. Miles, as John said, with 12 assists in this ball game tonight. Collison with the turnaround. Misses the shot, but he was fouled by Erskine.
You know, Boshi has hit big baskets tonight, and he has all season long. Good screen again by Collison. Nobody stepped out to help. And if you don't help your teammate, what Boshi did well was he stepped towards the ball. Now the low post move by Collison. We've seen it often. He's so good on low ball.
Sports Center coming up immediately following our ball game, but we're in overtime here in Austin. Collison misses the first. Simeon will come into the lineup, and Gooden is going to go to the bench
with a surprised look on his face.
He stole my thoughts and my words.
Simeon came in, and Drew was looking the other way, like, well, I know he's not coming for me.
Collison makes the second, and it's 100-98 Kansas.
Boy, Williams wanted to get Drew Gooden over to make a point to him. Could have been offensively or defensive end. He'll go right back in.
Yeah, getting ready to check right back into the lineup. Simeon now working against Thomas inside.
Huge game for Simeon. 17 points, 10 rebounds. Good pass.
What a give and go.
You cannot get caught staring because your man makes a backdoor cut. TJ Ford will make you pay.
Just rolled right behind after the pass and was right there. The perfect pass from Ford. Tied at 100. Miles takes it along the baseline. Knocked out of bounds. Touched last by Texas. And 16 seconds on the shot clock.
Defensively, at times you get caught. No rotation. Good finish by Boddicker.
Boddicker with 18 points tonight.
The crowd is telling him, don't let him lob it to the rim. 15,000 were pointing at the rim like, don't let him lob it.
Collison inside, bangs with Thomas, and he knocks down the jump hook. By the way, for Boddicker, that is a career high, the 18 points. He took a shot on the right arm and is exercising that right arm as he comes down the floor. Ford turns, not there, battle inside, knocked out of bounds by Boshi. Nope, he did. He saved it to Collison.
Good hustle by Boshi. Looked like it was clearly going to be out of bounds.
Well, the fans are actually obscuring our view down here to the left. They're standing out so far in anticipation to a great finish in this overtime. Miles faked the three, goes back to Gooden. About to go into 2 minutes left in overtime. And Boshi for three.
Stepped right into that pass. Plants that inside foot, turns, fires. Great release.
Under 2 minutes left in overtime. And the KU coaching staff emphatically saying you got to have a defensive stop here. And for Texas, they got to come up with something offensively.
Ooh, Boddicker got away with a shove.
Boddicker for three, not there. And Thomas battles for it. Collison comes away.
And Kansas again can be patient on the offensive end. They have been successful. The screen downs on Boshi.
Miles back to Gooden.
Offensive foul on Miles. Let's go back, take a look how Jeff Boshi steps into the pass, plants that inside foot, gets the right side of his body, then lined up. That's the key to a right-handed shooter.
So a timeout is called by Texas with 1:28 left in overtime. It's a 5-point Jayhawk lead. We'll be right back.
Sports Center every 20 minutes.
From the East Coast
Boston, 6 Carolina
to the West.
Los Angeles with 2 goals.
Drivers everywhere have a new way to listen to the worldwide leader in sports. ESPN Radio on XM Satellite Radio.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is ESPN Radio.
With ESPN Radio, plus 99 other channels of news, sports, and music, your commute will never sound the same again. Beyond AM, beyond FM, XM Satellite Radio. Starting as low as $300 at your local electronics store.
It's Red McCombs.
You get it all at Red McCombs Hyundai. It means for just $199 a month, you get a brand new 2002 Elantra with a real zero down, plus America's best warranty, plus gas for a year, and you get it all for a real zero down. A new Elantra, $199 a month with a real zero down, plus gas for a year. But hurry to Red McCombs before it all goes away.
If you're buying diamonds for Valentine's Day, America's Diamond stocks the largest selection of certified diamonds in Texas. Quality for quality, America's Diamond guarantees that our everyday prices are lower than the retail jeweler's very best sale prices, or will refund the difference plus 25%. See our half-hour television program called Buying Diamonds Intelligently, or pick up a free DVD or videotape copy of the program at America's Diamond. See America's Diamond first and save 50 to 75% off the suggested retail prices found at the retail jewelry stores every day.
Kansas 105-100 with 1:28 left in overtime. And take a look at the number that we're about to show you. Reminder, Sports Center coming up next. And then Big Monday will continue. But Texas 53-0 all time when scoring 100 points at home.
Wow, they've had a couple of those wins this year. 102-78 over Baylor, 104-95 over Colorado. That is some number.
So Boddicker goes to the line for a couple of shots. He's got 18 on the evening.
Remember,
first time that he's been to the line.
He took an elbow to the right arm. Now the release is soft.
Texas now 19 of 27 from the strike. Kansas, meanwhile, 10 of 16.
Nine-point differential could make it 10 from the free throw line.
Well, too hard up the back iron. Gooden grabs the carom. Kansas now with a 4-point lead and 1:20 left in the overtime.
Mouton has to stay closely with Boshi. The hot Jayhawks shooter's got 21 on the night. Good move by Gooden. What a finish.
And the All-American comes through with a huge hoop to make it a 6-point margin with 1:05 left.
Off the dribble and then a little spin off the glass. What a move.
And now Texas.
Spacing was good. The lane was open, and watch it hesitate. That's 6'10" coming at you, folks. Now the little spin goes in. The reaction. This is impressive. Odds-on favorite at this time of being a player of the year in this conference. Will get a lot of votes as player of the year in the country.
Johnny at 6 points at halftime. Right now, the score sheet shows 27. 12 of 23, and he's got 7 rebounds.
We talked about the 71 team. Ted Owens, the coach that year. Roy Williams, his answer to the question, did he go 16-0? He said, well, we don't think about it until you media folks ask the question, and we'll just take them one at a time.
You know what else he told me today, which really surprised me a little, because I know all coaches do. He said he doesn't go down the schedule before the season and try to pick out games that he thinks they should win. There's a foul, and Ivy's going to go to the line, and it looks like Boshi. And that's 4 on him. But we got 54.3 seconds remaining.
Ivy, solid night, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 of 6 from the foul line.
5 players for Texas in double figures, 6 players for Kansas in double figures.
And in Texas, we'll see what they do defensively. They can't sit back and allow Kansas to run time and pick them apart. P.J. Ford reminding his players of maybe a defensive set here. Collison touches, obviously they can foul.
Now substitutes coming in the ball game. Erskine will check in. Williams will check in.
Yeah, looks like speed now comes in. Try to put a little full court pressure. Ross is in the lineup.
Yep.
They got 6 out there. That's a good way to defend this Kansas team.
Well, and now Thomas goes to the bench. He's saying, James, we'd love to do it this way, but we got to play with 5. 54.3 seconds left in overtime, and Heinrich, they try to foul him in the backcourt, and now Ross can't get the foul, and the clock down to 45 seconds.
Well, it's a quick team. Now they got to chase. Heinrich's got one.
Heinrich all the way to the hoop, and he scores the layup.
Well, if you're going to foul, you foul early. Rick Barnes wants a timeout, or they were going for steals. I think if they didn't make the steal initially, they got a foul. Well, good job by Kansas moving the ball there. I think they were going for a steal initially, maybe the half-court trap, and once they didn't get it, though, now you've got to foul. You don't get it here, you better start fouling, because now all of a sudden it's keep away, and Kansas does an outstanding job, and you got a guy 6'10", throws over the top. Aaron Miles, good pass. Heinrich takes it to the basket. Rick Barnes, look at it. He wanted to foul.
Well, you talk about a job that 2 freshmen have done. Miles, 13 assists and 10 points. TJ Ford, 11 assists and 16 points. And for Miles, that 13 assists, a season high for him.
Great matchup at the point guard, and then the freshman Simeon came in for Kansas. Gooden was out with foul trouble, and they needed to lift. 17 points, 10 rebounds. 7 of 9 from the field, Wayne Simeon.
Ford working against Miles. As we mentioned earlier, they're going to see each other for a lot of years in this conference. Boddicker with an air ball. Miles retrieves it, and now KU doesn't want to do anything but just take the time off the clock and head back to Lawrence. Gooden missed it, fouled by Thomas with 17.7 seconds left. And the Kansas Jayhawks are about to go 22-2 and keep that record perfect in the conference.
Yeah, it's frustration right there. His ball club has played exceptionally well. Had opportunities. Some missed free throws down the stretch. Still a 2-possession game.
And I have a feeling that even these Texas fans, as they stand here at the end of the ball game, and see that there is very little, particularly within making that a 3-trip ball game, that they still will give a standing ovation to this young Texas basketball team.
Yeah, this Texas team has the rest of this week off. They play next Sunday at Missouri. Should be a great matchup there.
John will be there, and will also be in Lawrence next Monday night for that matchup between Iowa State and the same Kansas Jayhawks on Big Monday.
Iowa State gave this Kansas team a run for their money. You take a look at the schedule. They've got Baylor on Saturday, a rematch. Last year, Baylor knocked off this Kansas team down in Waco, this time in Allen Fieldhouse. Iowa State, then at Nebraska. Kansas State, and then the final game, which a lot of people targeted this game. Maybe they could get knocked off, or they target at Missouri. But those teams in between might have something to say about it.
Missouri has really played havoc with KU's standings, being to the top 5 and knocking them off up in Columbia.
Oh, just kind of a natural rivalry.
Sports Center coming up next. KU 5 of 7 in the overtime. Texas 2 of 6.
Good pressure, make this Texas team run some clock.
Ford. Sidmel Harris way off the mark. Through Boddicker's hands, retrieved by Boshi, and this is going to be an overtime win for the Kansas Jayhawks. Great ball, number 2 team in the country. And John's right. This has been a fun one, a great ball game to watch. So the final score in overtime, Kansas 110 and Texas 103. Coming up next, Sports Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. And now for John Sumbold and our entire ESPN crew, Ron Franklin saying so long and thanks for joining us from Austin, Texas.
Sports Center about to hit you all upside the head with all we got. John Anderson, Stuart Scott.
I had the downhill at a standstill. Stewart's returned from Philly with a bag full of the NBA's best plays so far, but we're going to start with what you kind of saw there. It was a good game. Bevo and the Beakers.
Great game. Hey, check this out. Jayhawks, Rock Chalk Jayhawks, they haven't done something in a while. Number 2 Kansas at Texas. KU trying to win its 11th straight conference game. They haven't done that in 31 years. Check out the highlights. It was on. There's Roy. Tar Heel, first half, Kansas up. Aaron Miles pops for 3. He was 3 of 5 in the first half. He banked it in. He didn't call it. He knows he didn't call it. Later, Miles brings it up again. Drop that thing like it's hot, kid. Banks that one inside the 3-point. I think he did call that one, John. 10 points, 13 dimes. Still first, TJ Ford drives, loses the handle. Over to Brian Boddicker. Oh, show. 4 ties, 6 lead changes, tied at 32. Kansas up 1. Miles drives, lose it. Wayne Simeon is there to turn it into a freaking alley-oop. 11 points for Simeon, 7 boards in the first half. Fast break, Kurt Heinrich gets some of that. He was 5 of 8, 12 points in the first half. Boddicker didn't like committing the foul. Early second half, Kansas up 2. Y'all got to give me that. Drew Gooden for Shizzle. 50-46 Kansas. Then underneath, wicked block. Picked up by TJ Ford. Kid is off the hook. Texas. Only 2 points off the fast break in the first half, trying to turn it around in the second. Kansas up 3. Gooden. You don't know, now you know. Gooden averaging 21 and 11. Last 15 games, 13 double-doubles. But check that out. Brandon Mouton. Say what you're scared to say. 1-point game, 93-92. Kansas up 3. Ford drives. Block. Gets it to Thomas. I'll get your point. Texas, they've won 3 of their last 4 against top 10. That made it 95-94. But down 2, Royal Ivy, the short jumper, tied at 96. Time running down. Heinrich lost control, forces it, no good. KU rebound. Miles front rims it. We're going to overtime. In OT, Kansas down 2. Jeff Boschee gets free off the pick. Straight stroking the 3. That's why he averages 13 points a game. Kansas up 1. Texas now down 2. Boddicker. Nice reverse layup on the back door. Texas 53-0. All-time when scoring 100 at home. That tied it at 100. But Boschee, 3 again. Booyah! He had 21 points. Kansas up 5. 105-101 Kansas. Drew Gooden. Straight. Tight. 21 of his 27 came in the second half. Kansas goes on their first overtime game this year. They won it 110-103. Season high 110 points. Jayhawks have topped 104 their last 5 games. They've won 9 straight overall, 15 straight regular season Big 12 games. Texas, first time they've scored 100 points against Kansas in 107 games. The last team to do it, Oklahoma, February 27th, 1990.
Second half, Aaron Miles throwing the alley-oop to Drew Gooden, 28 points. Kansas up 4. Kansas up 1 now. Gooden drives. The dish to Nick Collison. Shot blocked by James Thomas. TJ Ford going the other way. Lay-in. And the foul. He had 16 points and 11 assists. 3-point play good. Texas up 2. At a minute and a half left, Ford shot blocked by Miles, but he gets it back and feeds James Thomas, who had 16 points and 12 boards. Texas down 1. Texas down 2 now. Ford to Royal Ivy. 2 of his 16 were tied at 96. Kansas a chance to win it. Time winding down. Kirk Heinrich loses the ball but recovers, then forces up the air ball. Aaron Miles, the jumper for the win. No good. We're going to overtime, tied at 96. In OT, Jeff Boschee for 3. He had 21 points. Kansas up 5. Under 45 seconds left. Texas trying to foul. They can't do it. Kirk Heinrich open, driving, and laying it in. He had 14 points, 1 of 6 Jayhawks in double figures. Kansas wins 110-103. Kansas improves to 9-2 all-time against Texas. They've won 9 in a row since that loss to UCLA. It's the first time Texas has lost a big Monday home game as Jeff Boschee and the Jayhawks outlast the Longhorns.
Coach Williams stresses we got to be in better shape than the teams we play because of the way we play, and we like to push the ball up and down the court. And there's times when we get very fatigued out there and we got to get a break or something like that. But we're not going to slow the tempo down at all.
Kansas gets a scare but remains just one of 4 teams in the country that has yet to lose in conference play. KU plays 3 of its next 4 games at home before finishing the regular season at Mizzou.